welcome back to STARR, Startling Tales about Radical Responsibility. And this STARR is the other POV, the other point of view from the STARR called The Anatomy of an Emotionally Charged Communication in a Group Setting. The anatomy STARR was from the perspective of a space holder and how do you navigate your space when such communication is happening. This STARR is about when you are the person having this emotionally charged communication. What do you do with that? How do you handle that? And I'm talking about a specific kind of communication that comes from you've noticed something did not work for you in a connection or collaboration with somebody and you didn't say anything. You held back. And the feelings that came up, that emerged for you to actually handle that situation in the moment were unused and so therefore still stuck in your body, and they tend to rot and to turn into emotional resentment or separation or even like self-cannibalism, beating yourself up. What to do with this emotion is not necessarily an emotional healing process. The emotional healing process that would be needed is to go back to why didn't you speak immediately? What was the block? The old decision, the old thoughtware that stopped you from being present with yourself and communicating generously. That would be a useful emotional healing process to do. But in terms of the communication, there is something in the communication that is real, that comes from your being, that comes from your culture, and that you find a way, like it's about finding a way to communicate that. What I've seen often is when this happened, possibilitators have a tendency to say, I'm going to give you feedback about this thing that happened in our collaboration. But feedback is really useful. It's a very useful tool, but in a specific setting, which is basically a group of three or pair or a team where you're doing a specific kind of experiment and you have your team that in the moment tells you beep, shift, go, what's working, what's not working, so you can keep learning at a really rapid pace to try different options and learn new skills. But in terms of like being in collaboration with another person, feedback then tends to be used as something didn't work for me and I'm going to try to change you. I'm going to use feedback assuming that you are you're the problem, or like you need to change so I feel better. And the invitation in this STARR is to have a completely different cultural orientation in terms of creative collaboration, whether it's with people on your team, but it could also very much be with people that you're holding space for, that are your participants. And the shift is from trying to fix a problem to being in creative collaboration with people. So there's many ways to be in creative collaboration. And here I'm talking specifically about when you have an emotionally charged communication that is hiding something real for you. And this is the experiment that we've tried yesterday in the year-long spaceholder training, which is you ask this person, I want to have a creative collaboration, communication with you. Are you up for this? They say yes or no. If they say yes, you go. Ask somebody to hold space for you. So a third person is in the space. Your job is to first let the raw, unfiltered, maybe emotional part of you that you're carrying. So you let your heart speak in a way that may be responsible, may not be responsible, but the communication is about what is on your heart. So the communication is not about explaining yourself. It is not about letting your box speak about the reason why you spoke or why you didn't speak or why it's a problem for you. Your communication is very simple of, I feel angry. And I'll take the example from the woman who was practicing yesterday is, I feel angry because when I speak, you have interrupted me and then it cuts my flow, and I feel sad because I want to discover what is my flow and I want to discover how can I make mistakes and how do I clean up my mess before you take over. And I feel sad because this is still the communication. The woman was saying, I feel sad because I make myself small next to you, and then I resent you for being my teacher. And so even that can be like part of the communication, like the sadness of not having integrity with your own being. But at this point, avoid any explanation about, I've always made myself small, it started in school, or I have these stories about you, I have these thoughts about you. This is all box, and it's not needed for this communication. If somebody has such communication in the year-long space holder training and records it, I will also share it along with this star. When the emotionality part of like having held back can be spoken, again, I say in this raw, unfiltered way, it makes space for the actual communication of the being. This communication from the being is also based in your heart. It also comes from you. And to remember that your feelings are for you and about you. Therefore, this communication is not about, I feel angry because you. It's, I feel angry because I want this culture for myself. I want to show up in the space like this. This is important for me. I want to grow up into being a fierce, messy, radiant woman. And that's really what this woman was saying yesterday in this second part, the responsible part, the collaborative part of the communication. She was saying, I'm angry because I want to be a warrioress standing next to you as a warrioress. I want to hear my voice. I want to discover what I have to say when I get a chance to have space. So first you really let your heart speak of like, this is what I want for myself. And after you've done this communication that you will sense is so authentic, it's pushing the edge of who you are in this collaboration with this person, then will naturally come this proposal of, in this case was, so I want you to not interrupt me when I'm setting context in the space, or I'm giving feedback or possibilities to somebody because I want to find out what I have to say without deferring to some external authority. Like, I don't want to project authority onto you. And the woman who received this communication, she was like, yes, I want this. Like, I want you to be this warrioress, this lioness next to me. And if I ever interrupt you, please say stop. So there you are in this collaborative communication, collaborative communication and creative collaboration of negotiating intimacy. Like, how do these two women make proposals that make each of their being bigger? And so there is this kind of creative collaboration communication is not about trying to control the other people so that your box feels safe. It's about, I'm doing this wild experiment and I want you to be by my side in this way. Are you up for this? So this has been a really cool, liberating this energy and not trying to be reasonable or logical or polite about the way that you want to expand your being in collaboration with other people. There's really other ways to also be in collaboration, and also in this regard of feedback or discovering what was going on for the other person, which is a whole other tool, other skill. One of them is called the vacuum rapid learning, and I might make a star about this. And that's more about discovering that you were noticing some unconscious behavior and going down the elevator to find out what was happening for the other person, still being in collaboration with them, wanting to discover what is the longing of their being that they might have been given away to their gremlin for a long time and forgot about it, forgot that they handed over their life energy to their gremlin to take care of them. So many skills to learn And this is about shifting from feedback as a weapon to creative collaboration.